Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack Nicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. Now, the chance, go check out our website, justsayingfootball.com. Follow us on Instagram at Just Saying, no GWJS for article and video updates. And don't forget to get us in your ear on Spotify at Just Saying Football, as well as in our Discord at Just Saying Football to check out all of our bets. Buddy, Super Bowl 59, last week of the NFL. It's a sad week.
But we're happy for it.
We're happy for it because it means that, we get another chance next year to maybe go to the Super Bowl, maybe win a playoff game if you're the Vikings. That'd be nice. We did get Kevin O'Connell extended. And with that, we're going to get into some news and notes. So the first one is that Brian Schottenheimer is the new head coach of Dallas. Everybody's met that with scathing reviews. Just have to bring that up one more time. I know we here at Just Saying are very happy, not the biggest Dallas Cowboys fans with that one. Can't also move on into anything else in the sports world without talking about the Luka Doncic trade going to LA and AD going to Dallas. We couldn't believe that here. I didn't believe it when it happened on Saturday night. My friend was in my face with a Shams tweet like, "It's happening." I was like, "No, that's fake news." I was like, "Shams sucks. This is not happening." Yeah. I was wrong. Some more news happening in the NFL. The Rams have informed Cooper Kupp that they are intending on trading him. Some big news, former Super Bowl MVP. Myles Garrett has requested a trade out of Cleveland. Now, the rumor is that Cleveland is not entertaining a trade, but I have a feeling that they're going to listen to what their star player says. Kenneth Gainwell did not practice last week due to concussion. However, he is expected to suit up for the Super Bowl this week, so keep that in mind. And I wouldn't worry too much about this, but Barkley, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens all did not participate at all in practice last week. I think that they're resting more than anything. But KC didn't rest any of their starters, so just take all that information as you guys want to. Now, before we get into the game itself, we got a few bets for you guys just to keep in mind. So, Jack, who's an early Super Bowl MVP pick before we even get into the game? Who's somebody I could toss some money on?
Yeah, I mean, you got to definitely maybe try a little bit of Mahomes. He's already got 3 of them. You have, Kelsey there who could win his 4th ring. A lot of Chiefs guys out there. But for me, number one guy, definitely on the offensive side, got to be Saquon Barkley. The Eagles, if they're going to win this game, they got to do it the way they've been doing it all year, running it through him. It sucks for me to see him in here. We'll get into that later. But, yeah, Saquon, Mahomes, seem like the two. But you got any sneaky picks for us?
I'm looking at Barkley also. I think if the Eagles win this game, it's because of him. It's just been what's happening all season. Yeah. And then, honestly, for the Chiefs, I'm looking at Nick Bolton. Just a few years ago, he was looked at as an MVP, I thought, for the Super Bowl, but obviously Mahomes took that from him. But let's shout out some defensive players who show up and show out. All right, first touchdown score prediction for each team. Jack, give it to me.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with 2 guys that we've been loving all season, and I can't believe the price on this first one, but it is a first touchdown. Kareem Hunt, plus 875. They are, they're the favored team, and he's the lead running back. He's been getting so many great rejuvenated carries this year, so I'm feeling really good. On the Eagles side, I think Devonta Smith could go. They've won a lot of games with him getting started early. He's 12-1 to score first, and that's a pretty incredible probability, but I do think that he has a chance to get that done.
I like that. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. He had 3 rushing touchdowns the last time that they played. But we all know that they love a tush push. There's probably going to be another conversation about whether or not that should be banned. Let's see what happens. That's at plus 600. Not too bad.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah Pacheco. He was a rookie just a few seasons ago. Plus 1,700. I couldn't believe it was that high. Honestly. But, he was so good in the Super Bowl. 15 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown the last time that they were here. All right. Let's flip it to the defensive side of the ball. Who's getting a sack in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs player, George Karlaftis. We loved him coming out of Purdue. He has really came into his own this year. I believe it's his 3rd or 4th year already. So, he's seen a Super Bowl or 2. And, it's now, right now, his projected line is to get over 0.25 sacks, about a half a sack. I think that he could really be a difference maker, get 1 to 2 if Hurts is scrambling. So give me that, plus 124. George Karlaftis, definitely going to get a sack in this one.
The Eagles did not get a sack the last time that they played them in the Super Bowl, but they did not have Jalen Carter the last time. So I'm getting Jalen Carter with the sack on this one at plus 125. We've actually seen him just show up and show out continuously throughout the playoffs, especially against the Rams, causing fumbles and whatnot. I'm liking it. All right, who is getting an interception, my friend?
Ooh, all right. You got the Eagle last time. I'll give you guys an Eagle who's getting an interception. It's gonna be Zach Bond. Zach Bond has been unbelievable this season for the Eagles. We were saying, oh, maybe they have a linebacking issue. They do not. He has just come in. He had 5.5 sacks, I believe 3.5 sacks this year, and he's had a couple interceptions. So I think that he's 9.5 to 1 to get an interception, but Pat Mahomes has been throwing most of his interceptions to safeties and linebackers, and you get to get a hit on him. Zach Bond's going to be right there for it.
Yep, I'm looking on the Chiefs side of the ball, and I'm liking Justin Reed. All right, that guy's just an absolute ball hawk. Let's see if he can get one on this one, maybe on like a slightly underthrown deep ball from Jalen Hurts. All right. Now we can finally get into the game, and as everybody knows, it's the Philadelphia Eagles making their way to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored this one by -1.5 with an over/under here of 48.5. Now the Eagles lost this game the last time, 38-35, which I can't believe that the over/under here is only at 48.5. We just saw the Eagles drop 50 points just a few weeks ago. Smash the over, everybody. I think we can safely say that here at just saying smash the over.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite play this week. 49.5, 48.5, whatever it is. Sean, you brought it up off camera. It's almost 75 points when you're talking about the last time we saw these guys on this stage. Similar teams, and you have a different look kind of team for both of them going right now. But Mahomes going for that three-peat. Saquon, it's his birthday, so I know you have a little birthday present for the people from Saquon. What are we doing with Saquon bet-wise this weekend?
Right off the bat, if you weren't already in the Discord, take a look at it. But Saquon Barkley is currently plus 280 for 2+ touchdowns. That's nothing. For 2 touchdowns. All right, it's only going to go down as it continues. If you do it as a combo play, you get it at plus 300, which we freaking love. But I'm honestly, I'm really nervous about this game because I don't really want either one of these teams to win. As a New Yorker, I don't want Philly to win anything. That disgusts me.
Yeah.
But honestly, as a fan of football, I don't really want a three-peat to happen right now. Not because it's never happened. Well, if you're a Packers fan, you're like, oh, it happened before the NFL. But I just don't really want to see a three-peat at the moment. I feel like it just will I don't know, creates too real of this dynasty. Like, this dynasty doesn't feel the same as the Patriots. Mm-hmm. And it feels like if they get the three-peat, it will somehow really feel almost more like that. And I don't know if I'm ready for another dynasty right now.
Yeah, and I hate to be on the side of a dynasty, and if you hate that, put it in the comments why, but I'll tell you one thing. Saquon, I love him. He's one of my best players. Go check the tape. One of the guys I talked highly about. But I was telling Sean off camera, this truly feels like one of those situations that you never want to be in, where you have somebody you used to love, and now they're with somebody you hate, and you look at them and you're like, wow, they are amazing together. They have such a healthy and successful relationship. What did I not see? But man, as a Giants fan, you want to root for Saquon. You don't want to root for the Eagles. Definitely a little paradoxical, but I will say I think it could be a good game no matter who wins it. Both these teams, we kind of saw throughout the season a lot of signs. We said, if the Bills get there, they should be the ones who can beat the Chiefs, and the Lions could beat the Eagles, but the Lions didn't even get to play them. And now, we kind of knew that Philly just has an all-around great team. So how are you feeling what are you leaning on? Because obviously that's one thing. I don't want to say it plays in my bias. We never go with bias here, always the logic, but how can somebody like me look at this Super Bowl and just see the true power that the Eagles have?
I think you have to say, they got A.J. Brown, right? They got Devonta Smith. They got Dallas Goedert. And they have a really great defense, more than anything. And that's going to be the focal point, I think, of this game for both these teams. They have won games throughout the season consistently because their defense makes stops when they need to. They create turnovers when they need to. We see Jalen Carter against the Rams literally put on an entire highlight reel against them, just play after play after play. And I'm looking at this game, and it's kind of a toss-up. I get the -1.5, and you got to give it to Kansas City because they were just won these last two. Yeah. But when these teams played the last time, Miles Sanders, now in Carolina, 6 carries, only 16 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, 7 carries, 21 yards. It was all Jalen Hurts, 15 carries for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. It has to be the Saquon show, which is not something that you want to hear as a Giants fan, and it's not something that you want to see happen, but like it has to go through him again, and somehow the Chiefs are going to have to find a way to stop him. And I don't know if they can, because this offensive line is scary good. Like, this is probably the best offensive line in all of football.
Yeah, and we talk about Lane Johnson on the show, Jordan Mailata, even just the departing of Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. I mean, you got these guys that we loved coming out of college, and they all wind up on the Eagles. Like you said, very well-built team. Mahomes 13-0 in a dome. Something I saw, and I'm like, that's interesting. You think he's played more dome games by now, but pretty good record in that. And I will say, I think that does play a factor. Just having it in a dome this year under no weather, no wind factors. That's gonna, I feel like, create such a very high potentially scoring atmosphere. Like you mentioned as well, I think Isaiah Pacheco could kind of sneak up on us. He, had 8 weeks of injury. We were waiting for him to get back. Kind of got a lot of his snap count and volume taken away by Kareem Hunt. But the same thing, I think the Chiefs can win this game in a classic Andy Reid style. I'm going to pick the Chiefs here, not because of the Eagles. I do think the Eagles, could come out in front and just dominate this game, just the way we saw the Bucs do against the Chiefs as well a couple of years ago. However, the Chiefs, I think that Andy Reid is going to coach his way into a three-peat. He's going to use both his running backs, and he's going to use, like you mentioned, Mahomes only had to throw 182 yards last time, and only on 6 carries did he get 44 yards on the ground. I would love to see Pacheco get another, 15, 75 in one game the way he did last time. Obviously Kelsey getting up there, want to go out in this way. Like you said, though, I kind of don't want to see this three-peat. It's just, I haven't seen anything that I think is going to stop it.
Yeah, I want to go for Philly because I feel like logically they're the team. Like, I do feel like they are the better roster at the moment.
Yeah.
I think they got better weapons offensively. I think they got the better offensive line. I do think the Chiefs have the better quarterback. I think that you could make the argument they have a better defense to an extent. But not better head coaching. Just want to say that out there. When you read,
I was like, wait,
you are a special breed, my friend. But the reality is I've bet against Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and I've lost time and time again. And I don't think I'm going to do that this year. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well. I do think it's going to be a three-peat. If the Eagles win, it will not surprise me. This won't be something that does not surprise me at all. I think they can get pressure. I think they can get a lot of pressure. I think it can happen very early on. But I just think time and time again, in the playoffs, when it matters most, you can say whatever you want about the Kermit talker, Patrick Mahomes. He's great when his team needs him the most. Like, that's what separates good players from great players, is your ability to show up when your team needs you the most. No offense to throw Peyton Manning under the bus right now, but there weren't moments in the playoffs when he stood up and his team needed him the most and he couldn't get it done. Tom Brady got it done and beat Peyton Manning in regards to that. Yeah. So I do think it's the Chiefs. And at halftime when they're down, you and I talked about this off screen. At halftime when the Chiefs are down,
sprinkle a little bit.
Sprinkle a little bit of money on the Chiefs, okay? Because that's when they do the comeback. Don't forget, fourth quarter, throws an interception to San Francisco. San Francisco's up like 10 points, 11 points. It's a wrap, everybody's thinking. Yeah. It was not a wrap. The Chiefs won.
Narrator, but it was not a wrap. But that's the thing we're looking at here right now, is just the fact that you got two really stacked teams. We're both going with the Chiefs. We're both going with the over. We both think it's going to be, we look at these teams and they've gotten to Super Bowls with their defense before. But you said it, Sean. The Eagles have gotten here with their offense, and I truly think that the Chiefs are going to have to be able to keep up with them. I think the Eagles get a quick start. That's why I love that Devonta Smith thing. I can see a big pass in the first couple of plays. But yeah, man, it's hard to pick against Mahomes and Reid when we've watched this movie a million times.
It's really hard, but that's all the time that we have. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's been a great season. Can't believe we're actually coming to an end on it, but don't worry. We got tons of off-season stuff down the pipe coming up, so keep us in mind. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Yeah,
we got more seasons to come. Football's always around the corner.
We always got football, man, and I'm psyched. We've had another great season here, another high season of good percentage picks. We got our Discord, Just Saying Football, YouTube and Spotify, Just Saying Football, and all your stuff that we're going to get is going to be on Instagram, Just Saying with no GWJS. No, we do not do TikTok. And yes, Sean Z, this is the week Luka. This is going to be the Super Bowl of the week Luka got traded. So we enjoy it.
What a weird week for sports, everybody. Enjoy.